All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here. So, this lesson is going to be about taxes. Okay. I know this is a thing a lot of people don't like, and trust me, I don't like them either, but there is a purpose to them. And that's what today's lesson is going to be about. Okay. We're going to analyze what a luxury tax is. Okay. Um, we're not going to really do the second one, but we're going to do the last one. Create an argument on whether a sin tax is more to help people or the government. Now, here's your warm up picture. If you notice, the guy says, you start at one end, I'll start at the other. And you see the little ribbon just going around everywhere and some of that. That is the US tax code. So, what do you think this artist is trying to say about the US tax code? Okay. So, look at the picture, analyze it, think about it, write your response. Okay. Because we're moving on in three, two, one. So, the US government, believe it or not, needs a lot of money to run efficiently. And this is at every level: federal, state, and local. Okay. Now, I tried to, look up what the information was, more recent, but I had a lot of stuff this weekend, so I didn't get a chance to look up new information. But as of 2022, that year, the government collected $4.9 trillion in taxes. And if you break it down for every man, woman, and child in America, that basically means every man, woman, and child paid $14,763.48. Now, I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, well, I didn't pay that. Maybe you didn't pay 14,000, but I'm going to show you today in this lesson that you actually did pay some of that. Maybe not 14,000, maybe several thousand, you know. You're going to see, okay? So just give me a moment to show you. Now, taxes are placed on goods and services. So, when you buy something like my little pop figures, putting taxes on that. If I go to the store, right, the grocery store, pay taxes on that stuff. If I go, eat dinner with my girlfriend at a restaurant, I pay for that taxes. Get my car changed, oil change and some of that. There's taxes on that service. Okay, so taxes are everywhere. Now, in 1991, President uh, Bush Sr., Daddy Bush, he basically said, you know what? We're taxing the middle class way too much. And he basically tells Congress, we need a way to tax the rich because they need to start paying their fair share. So they're like sitting around going, okay, well, how the hell can we charge or tax the rich without hurting the middle class and poor? And it hit them. Why don't we tax them on things that only they can buy? So, expensive cars. And I'm not talking about like a $30,000 car. No, no, no. We're talking about the 100,000, 200, $300,000 car. Hey, if you can afford that, you can afford pay like a little extra. Um, Private aircrafts, private yachts. Like I said in class, how many guys own one? That's not on GTA 5. And all those hands went down. It's like, yeah, exactly. You don't own one. But these millionaires and billionaires, sure, they can afford it. So, hey, why can't they afford to pay a little bit more taxes? And other things that they buy. Like, I remember reading how a celebrity person bought a $50,000 umbrella. And it's like, is it made from the skin of seals? I mean, what the heck? No, it's just a regular umbrella. But again, they can afford it, so they bought it, so they can pay a little bit more in taxes. Okay. The thing is, though, too, you have to remember this: even rich people don't like paying taxes. Okay. So what they'll do is they'll try to change the name. So like there used to be a thing called the inheritance tax. They didn't like it because basically if someone in their family died and they left them like if it was over $250,000, they had to be taxed on it. So what they did is they changed the name from inheritance tax to death tax. And the average Joe here in our country were like, "Oh no, that sounds bad. I don't want to be taxed for dying." So they voted no on it. Again, people are idiots. They didn't realize. Wow. they're not going to tax us if we die. There's another purpose to this. So again, that's why I say rich people, they look for ways to make you think, oh, this is going to hurt you, but it's not. Okay. Now, taxes can be used to encourage and discourage some type of activities. Now, we've mentioned this before in class, but homeowners can use interest payments on their mortgages as tax deductions. Why? Because the government wants you to own a home. Like some students said in class today. Well, yeah, because they want that property tax. Yeah, that's one of the things. Yeah. And and they want you to buy, you know, garden hose, cleaning products, decorations for your place, new cups, new silverware, things like that. Because that kind of stuff makes the economy run. When you spend a little money here, at this store, at this store, at this store, at this place, you know, that makes the economy run. Not buying one $50,000 umbrella. That doesn't make the economy run. Okay. Now, another thing is to discourage stuff is a sin tax. A sin tax is a relatively high tax, basically used to increase revenue, but also discourage sociably undesirable tendencies that people do, you know, or people buy. So two of the major ones that have a sin tax is liquor and tobacco products. Okay. Um, like I was saying in class, my godfather, he looked like the Mexican Marlboro man. He was a tall, skinny Mexican man with a cowboy hat and everything. He had a cigarette just hanging off his lip. And I remember him taking me to the store. I get my little bag of chips or candy or whatever, and he'd get like 3 cartons, big old pack of cartons of cigarettes. He'd drop down a $20 bill and get change back. Nowadays, 2 packs of cigarettes, that's basically $20 right there. Two small little packs. Why? Because they put a sin tax on it to make sure that, hey, that if you're gonna smoke, you're gonna pay the price. You know. And again, even just a dollar raise on every can of beer, every bottle of liquor, every pack of smokes, that's billions of dollars going into the government. That's tax revenue they're getting, you know. Like I told in class too, a couple years ago, one the governor of New York wanted to basically put a tax on sodas. So they basically said if you have a soda and it's above a large, you're going to pay an extra tax on it. Whether you go to McDonald's, things like that, you supersize it, well, then you're going to pay extra a little more to it. Besides, what the store is charging for the supersize extra thing, they're going to charge you more because hey, you shouldn't be drinking that much soda. Okay, that was killed. That was dropped. But don't be surprised if that kind of stuff comes again in the future. Now, income tax. This is basically the money tax from your earnings. I've had a lot of students tell me in my years, man, Martinez, I was supposed to get a $1,600 check, and instead I got like a $1,200 check. I'm like, yeah, you know where it went? Yeah, I saw. It went to like taxes and like my like social and things like that. It's like, yeah, exactly. Medicare, too. Yeah. Anytime you get money, you're getting taxed on it. Okay. You put money in the stock market, you cash out. Guess what? You're getting taxed. You go to the casino, you win over $1,200, $1,200 or more. You're getting taxed on it. Okay. Uh, you inherit money from a family member, you get taxed on it. Okay. There's only 2 states, I believe, or 3 that they don't have a sales. They don't charge or they don't do an income tax. I believe that's Oregon is one of them. I remember right. So you don't have to pay income tax on that. Now, the tax code, which we talked about in the warm up, it is thousands of pages long. It is very difficult. It is confusing. But see, this is where the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, this is where they come in to help out. Okay. Yes, you've heard me say in class 2 before, IRS, you don't want to mess with them because they handle the government's money and they want to make sure that they get paid. But the thing is, fact of the matter is, if you hear something like, "Oh, this the IRS is doing stuff like to help people with taxes or who are behind on their taxes, you can call them up, message them something and ask them, is this true? I heard this. And they'll break it down for you. You know, like I told some students, yeah, they might, if you call them, they're going to give you like all these lingo words, like, and use abbreviations because again, they work with that type of language and stuff like that all day. You don't. So you probably won't get it. That's why you have to be calm with them and tell them, okay, I don't understand this. Could you break it down, make it simpler? Okay. Okay. So again, they are there to help. Now, going back to that $14,000, taxes from every man, woman, and child. Like I told you guys, you do pay into that. And how do I know? Because you bought stuff from a store. So when you go to a store and you get a bag of chips, it's like $2. It's never $2, right? It's like 209 or whatever, right? 213, 215, whatever it may be. Well, you put into some of that taxes because it wasn't, it was $2, but that extra change that was taxes. So that's how you contribute when you buy things. Okay. And like I said in class, if you've already bought something this year over $100, guess what? You've already contributed basically like $9, $10 into the tax thing, right? Because our tax here in California, it's like 9.25. So like $9 for every $100, like $9.25. So that's how you can do it. That's how you add up the taxes and stuff like that. Okay. Now some goods like food, childcare, medicine, they are exempt from taxes. It just depends on where you live. Different states tax on different stuff. Like Minnesota, I believe, doesn't do taxes on food. But they'll tax you on other stuff, clothes and things like that. Um, like California, if you win the lottery, they don't tax you on your winnings from the lottery. But other states, Texas, Florida, Ohio, they will. They'll tax you, anywhere from 3, 5, 7, 10% extra. You know, so yeah, okay. So every state is different. So don't think like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to this other state because they don't have, sales tax on food. But yeah, they're gonna tax you on other stuff. So, you know. Now sometimes there are laws and rules that allow people to avoid paying taxes. These are known as loopholes. And loopholes are exceptions or oversights in laws that allow people and businesses to avoid paying taxes. Sometimes these loopholes will say like if you donate $1 million, you get a tax break of like $2 million. So businesses and really wealthy people will say, okay, well, I'll donate money. You know, if they say, hey, if you hired like 100,000 people this year, you will get a tax break. So some companies will hire, then fire, and then hire more people just to get behind that number and be like, oh, look at we hired 100,000 people, you know, to get that tax break. Um, and the thing is, a student said in class, well, wouldn't you do that? Sure, sure, absolutely. But here's the thing: when you see on these commercials and some of that, these companies, we care because we donate $1 million. We hire some people because we care. They're full of crap. No, they did it for the tax break. They didn't do it for because they care. And when students try to tell me, well, couldn't it be both? No, no, because if they did, when someone does something they actually truly care about, like if you helped your grandma, you don't go shouting around the neighborhood. It's like, oh, I helped my grandma. Yes, oh, I helped my grandma. I took out her trash. I did this. No, you do it because you care, and you don't look for the glory. You don't look for the oh, I need that appreciation from everybody. No, you just do it. It's when you want something, attention, and things like that. That's when you do stuff. That's where those companies do that kind of stuff because they want that attention. They don't really care. They just want the attention. Oh, we did so much. Oh, we do so much. We give so much. No, they don't because they're getting something out of it. That's the only reason they did it. Otherwise, if there was no loophole, they wouldn't have done it. Okay. And again, it's not fair because the tax break would be like, again, did you donate $1 million to a company? How many people, you and me, have $1 million just sitting around to donate to, a charity stuff. We would love to, right? We would love to, but we don't have that extra money just lying around, so we can't. It's only for up here. Now, does that mean there's no loopholes for the average Joe, you and me? No, there are. There are. But that's where you would need like an accountant, somebody who does your taxes and knows these laws and rules and some of the loopholes and can get you money back. Okay. Now, even without loopholes, nobody is going to pay the exact same amount of taxes. Some people are going to pay 200. Some people over here are going to pay 1,000. Some people over here are not going to pay nothing. They actually might get money back. It varies. Everyone is different. Their income, their dependents, the loopholes they can get, whatever, things like that. Everyone's different. Okay. All right. So here's my question to you. This is just a small chunk of where our tax money goes to. Okay. Now I want you to pick the top three where you feel our tax money should go to. Okay. So we got schools, police, firefighters, fixing the city, towns, roads and streets, things like that. Helping the homeless, EBT programs, helping expecting mothers. So that's like WIC and things like that. The one that's covered up is like buses and trains, fixing and maintaining those. Healthcare for the elderly, state worker retirement, healthcare for children, care for disabled people, cleaning up parks, environmental cleaning, picking up toxic waste and stuff like that from areas where we drink our waters and some of that. Caring for veterans, aid for farmers, building new stadiums, fixing highway roads, building new and better prisons and jails. So, of those, what are three that you feel our tax money should really go to? Okay. Now, I had some student in class say, well, there's like five things I think our money should go to. I get that. That's the whole point of this. You should see like, well, our money should go here, 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 and here, and here. Maybe even here too. Again, I know, but you should. This is where the difficult part comes in. Pick three, just three. Okay. So once you do that, you're done with this lesson. So hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Okay. So with that being said, guys, you take care, you be safe, and I'll see you guys later. Okay.